This is Dead Serious, a show about short horror stories worthy of discussion. I'm Dead Pallet, and I broke the dam. Today we're going to be taking a look at more Saya in Underworld stories, translated by Saya Yamano. Today we're going to be taking a look at quite a few of the shorter ones, trying to get in as many of those as possible. I didn't want to do a single episode on those because it would be like a minute. So we're going to do a number of them based on titles that caught my eye. So we're going to start off with the rejuvenation operation. Sounds cool. A cryptic story, it starts off saying in yellow text and moves on to say, elderly man, end quotes. Are you sure this thing can rejuvenate my body? Man. Yes. This machine our company developed will reconstruct from your cells the healthy body you had when you were in the prime of your youth, and then transplant your existing memories into it, so that your memories will remain the same while your body alone will rejuvenate. Elderly man, I see. Then proceed. Already a ridiculous premise, but I'm hoping that this goes a cool direction. The elderly man lies down on a bed and gets covered over by a sheet. A few hours later, elderly man, he sure is taking long. When's this going to start? Man, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Young man, thank you very much. I had no idea it would go this smoothly. By the way, what are you going to do with this old man body of mine? Man, it shall be taken care of. We look forward to serving you again, sir. The man wheels the bed to the next room. Elderly man. Oh, it seems the man before me had a successful operation, but it's finally my turn. Young man. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have a little bit of weird fiction here. So so what's happening here is that they're making clones of this old elderly man, and they just keep doing it, I guess, is the idea. I like this comment from the comment section on this page, from Yudi Hidayat. Wow, very twisted. I like the idea of the machine use copy-paste instead of cut-paste the memory from the elderly man. I wonder what they will do to the old man. Probably not kill him, apparently, just keep cloning him. It sounds like they're implying that they're just going to keep cloning him. That's kind of a funny idea, kind of a funny visual. Now we're going to read Going to the Bathroom at Night. This is a cryptic story. I've noticed a trend whenever you see the words, this is a cryptic story, written in yellow text on Saya in Underworld pages, it's going to be a shoddy story. When I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I don't turn on the lights. Afraid of the brightness would make it hard to get back to sleep again. I kind of feel that. I go number 2 in the dark sometimes as well. I've done it so many times that even in pitch dark, I can easily find my way. Often while in the dark, I imagine what sort of thing would scare me in a situation like this. For example, I imagine a pale face suddenly appearing out of the darkness. So that's a very Japanese fear. The Japanese fear pale faces for some reason, and also revere them, because all of their skincare products are about become more white for some reason. They really like the idea of paleness. I guess it has to do with farm people get tans and aristocrats don't, so you look more wealthy if you're pale. It's kind of what's ingrained into the Japanese subconscious. Anyway, yesterday too, I was thinking that it wouldn't be funny if I saw a long-haired woman hanging upside down from the ceiling and in a dopey state. I fancied I actually saw such a figure that scared me, but it was probably all just my wild imagination. So I've done that kind of thing when I was younger. I really like to try and fool myself into thinking that I hallucinated something when I didn't. I think that's something pretty much everyone does when they're a kid at some point, is just try to fiercely imagine a ghost, and some people don't grow out of that. However, moving into the story, that would have been unclear if I just kept reading. However, it was right then, it went clank, and suddenly pain shot through my toe that sudden pain shot through my toe that I became breathless. It seemed my toe hit on something hard. Ooh, So it seems that they don't have a term for stubbing your toe in Japanese. Then I remembered that I had left a box of fruits sent by the mail lying about on the floor. I managed to go to the bathroom, and even after I got back to bed, the pain kept me wide awake. The next morning, my neighbor said he heard a scream come from my place in the middle of the night. It must have been when I hit my toe on that box. I apologized to him. Gomenasai. I was stupid to have turned on the lights. I was stupid to have not turned on the lights. All my laziness got me was pain, a sleepless night, and proved to my neighbor that I'm a dumbass, screaming like a little bitch in the middle of the night. So this story, I like it for a number of reasons. I thought this one would kind of be shoddy, but it actually did something cool. And if you hadn't figured out what this story did yet, I'll explain it. I think a lot of people might have picked up on what happened. It's a little bit of fridge horror. So I like the idea that they're getting these visuals in your head that are really generic visuals. The concept of, oh, there was a woman with long hair and a pale face upside down on the ceiling is in every single fucking Japanese horror film. It's deeply ingrained into the Japanese conscience. It's a yokai. It is a wandering spirit. We know this kind of stuff, right? So then you hit this person hits their foot on a box of fruits and pain shot through their toe, so much so that they became breathless, and yet someone heard a scream in the middle of the night. That's cool. That doesn't mean that there was an actual ghost there in the way that our narrator describes it, which again I think kind of works in its favor. It's just implying that could be that. It could be anything. It's kind of a red herring, and I like that. Cool little story. Moving right on to Phantom Voice. Right after the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, a female voice was emitted from the Hiroshima Broadcasting Station, the building of which was thought to have suffered an instantaneous annihilation, calling out to Osaka Broadcasting Station for help. Osaka, this is Hiroshima Broadcasting Station. Hiroshima has been annihilated, and we are short on radio waves. Please, Osaka, send some radio waves. Everyone who heard her on the radio later remarked it was a very beautiful and clear voice, like the voice of an angel. Translation note: Tenyo in the original Japanese text. There are heavily beings who often appear in Japanese mythology, so that's what they mean by angel. Okay, so this is a super, super short story. It is what we call micropasta here in English. I really like this concept, and there's this vagueness in the way that it's being explained. Not in how it's being explained, and how it's, what the words are, like, we're short on radio waves. That is a very bizarre thing to hear, because you can't really be short on radio waves, that just doesn't make any sense. It's vague, it's cryptic. Boy howdy do I like this story. It's goddamn short, but it has a punch to it. Scrolling down, we have this comment from Blue Rio. Is this real? I'm speechless. Is there any video about this? I like it. Steeple, creepy, short and sweet, but so bizarre that it's so spooky. A perfect ghost story. It really is. It's just intriguing. It has a lot going on. I like this one. Let's get to our last one of the day. Strange painting. Hopefully the story isn't about me. A cryptic story. Oh God. One day, I was assigned to clean up the art room at school. If you don't know, Japanese school kids often clean their own classrooms during lunch breaks and/or after school. I wanted to go home as soon as possible, so I was doing it very fast when I noticed the painting hanging on the wall. It was signed Dead Palette. It was a portrait of a very beautiful woman, but it was a little creepy and had a distinctive look around the eyes. It felt like her large eyes were looking at me. I got a bit scared and quickly finished cleaning up and went home. The next day, the school was in commotion. The painting in the art room got stolen. But because I was the last person to have seen it, the art teacher pounded me with questions. So you're saying it was still there when you were cleaning up? That's right. Was the painting expensive? The painting entitled Sleeping Beauty the painting's entitled Sleeping Beauty, and it was given to me by the artist's friend who painted his own daughter while she slept. It's not worth much, but both the painter and the daughter already passed away too. I see. The painting in the end was never found. Strangely, they didn't find any traces of someone breaking in. So, this story is completely fucking meaningless, completely believable, and I kinda like it. That's the thing with these cryptic stories, is that they're kind of hit or miss. You can get the ones that we read first, and then you can get these kind, which do, I don't know, just have this slice of life horror quality to them. That they are this little thing that happened. I was cleaning up, I saw this weird painting, and then the next day it was gone. And we don't know why it was gone, but there is a weird story behind the painting that seems entirely unrelated to why it was stolen. The concept of painting your daughter while she sleeps is really bizarre. Maybe the ghost stole the painting? The mother stole the painting as a ghost? But anyway, I kind of like that story. It's not a 10 out of 10 story. It's not even really a story worthy of rating. It's kind of just a weird anecdote, and that's kind of the space it occupies and should belong in. That doesn't mean that it's exempt from criticism. Maybe this could be written a little more colorfully, have a little more personality to it, maybe even be expanded a little bit, still keeping it brief, however, but I do like the space that it is currently occupying. Let me know what you think about these kinds of stories below. Which one was your favorite? And let's get on to our sponsor of the day. Ring Pops. Ring Pops. The final solution of suckers.